Joining us now is Jamie Macintosh, the president of Graycliff Exploration. Jamie, good to see you.
Nice to see you too, Mark.
So you have a really interesting story with Graycliff, an historical area. You think you may be sitting on a district scale gold camp in Ontario, and it's got quite a history too. People mining by hand 120 years ago. So give us a brief overview.
Yeah, so we actually picked up the property because in 2019 and then took the company public in 2020. But the reason we picked it up was Miller, the original prospector, found a vein at surface that was 250 ounces per ton.
Wow.
And that's when gold was $19 an ounce. So they literally sank the shaft by hand and mined out the vein as they followed it down. They just followed the vein down of extremely high grade. And they only mined it for about 3 or 4 years. But I think what's different with us is we've gone in and systematically mapped, and we've done channel sampling and field sampling. We did a geophysical survey. We did structural surveying. And we're taking all of the data, including the data from 12,000 meters of drilling, and putting it all into a 3D model, which will give us a much better idea of where to target our new holes once we move out past the Shakespeare original.
Right, so you're talking about the Shakespeare property, and you're bringing that modern technology to the fore. What else are you doing?
So we've also looked at, we thought, okay, there's another property, Baldwin, to about 1,500 hectares right to the east, and it had a lot of similarities in the original assessment work we did. So we looked at that and we picked that up. But what's been really unique at Shakespeare is we've been able to find multiple high-grade sections which really have a lot of potential, and we've expanded the zone quite dramatically.
So you think Shakespeare could eventually be 150 meters by 150 meters by 300 meters?
I think it's there now.
Yeah.
I think one of the things we like about it in this recent Phase 4 drilling that we've done there is we had the first 8 holes were all quite good, including one that was 6 grams per ton or 6 meters of 10 grams per ton, but then 3 meters of 14 grams a ton. So those are the kind of big numbers, and those were small step outs, which then further expanded the size of that zone. So, and the thing that we really are excited about, and this is I'm talking about myself and Bruce Durham, our qualified RQP.
Right.
And we think there's other zones on the property along the 6-kilometer strike that will have this same kind of 100 to 150 meters by 300 meters deep kind of zones. So that's where we really think the big upside is.
Right. Now you're planning a maiden resource in 2023. What work needs to be done leading up to that?
So we've got about 8 more holes to come out on from the drilling that's done. So that's 54 to 61. We know that some of those holes have VG in them, or visible gold. So we're pretty excited, and we think we'll have some more good results. But then we have to take all that data, as well as all the geophysical data, the channel sampling, all of the information we've gathered, and put it into the 3D model. But the other thing we want to do, and this is kind of a new thing for us, we're looking at doing 2 large diameter core holes, which will be the initial metallurgical testing, as we believe the majority of the gold is free gold, which of course free gold makes it much easier to recover. And the fact that it's a brownfield site, almost 200, the top of the old shaft is 200 feet above the road. The road goes right into the property. So, it's rare that you can be just off the Trans-Canada, 8 kilometers and on a paved road, and you're at your property.
That's what you call near infrastructure. Right?
Excellent infrastructure. Yeah, so we're pretty excited about that. So with all that information, we're probably later on in 2023 for the maiden resource. But one of the things, I think 2023 will be a really pivotal year for Graycliff as we're starting to move to more advanced exploration.
So the Baldwin property, you plan to be drilling sometime next year. What kind of potential do you see there? You seem pretty excited about it.
Yeah, so when we finished the geophysics, we found a total of over 11 conductors, good size anomalies, some near surface and some much deeper, but they're big bedrock conductors. Some of these things are 0.5 kilometer in diameter. But we are really excited about the northeast part of Baldwin for a couple of reasons. One, we have Magna Mining with their nickel mine just to the north of us, and they've been staking around us over the last sort of 6 to 8 months. But we have this northeast trending conductor that is almost a kilometer long, and it's big. And so we really want to get up and sample that next year. So that's one of the things we're pretty excited about.
Sounds good. Thank you, sir. Oh, sorry. No, keep going. You went ahead.
Well, I was just going to say there's also a bit of a regional deformation zone, and that is associated with the gold. So we believe there's not only these copper and copper nickel PGEs, but we also have the potential for a further gold at Baldwin and Shakespeare.
All right. Very good. Polymetallic too.
Yeah.
How about that? All right. Thank you, Jamie.
Yeah. Thank you.
Good stuff. Jamie Macintosh of Graycliff Exploration.